What's up, boys? Gonna run through the summer tier list for the current patch at least. It's recorded on July 8th. I'm anticipating a balance update soon. I think like universally everyone understands that guitars are like overtuned, and I think BMG also knows that. So I will be very surprised if guitars are not touched in the next update, which I'm assuming will happen after Low Tier City. So yeah, I'm just gonna run through this. This patch has been out for about a month now. I feel like I have a pretty good understanding of where everything is. Here's the weapon tier list that I'm not really gonna make a whole separate video about. I'm just gonna like reference it because this is how I think the weapons stack up right now. But we all know like weapons are not really the main defining thing about a character. It's mainly actually how good their SIGs are and how good their weapons work together. So yeah, this patch was released June 10th, I think. Yep, June 10th. It's July 8th. Obviously this isn't fake. I was saying that because I was trolling and bored. Everyone who thinks that is just, I don't even know. But yeah, so S tier we have Lin Fei, Asuri, and Ember. They all have guitars. Guitars are the best weapon by a significant margin right now, and all their SIGs are just ridiculous. Or they have a SIG or a few SIGs that they can just abuse so much that it's like, it feels unbeatable at points when you're playing against them. Lin Fei has, okay, so the biggest thing about these characters is they have a move that you can do out of guitar sidelight that is very difficult to avoid if you don't have a dodge. That is unavoidable if you don't have a dodge, and is very difficult to find the answer where to dodge. So Lin Fei has sidelight end sig, Asuri has sidelight down sig, and then Ember has sidelight side sig. Guitars they just set up into SIGs so well now, and they just I hate guitars. They just basically, guitars have a 0 variable force move that true combos into 2 different moves that are both setups into either kills or extremely long strings, and they can loop if you lose a dodge. Like, it's just ridiculous with guitars right now. They don't actually lose to any single weapon except for Scythe, which is actually like more of an even matchup than a losing matchup, maybe even guitar favored. Guitars are just ridiculous right now. Not to mention Lin Fei, Cannon down sig, fucking, I shouldn't swear as much actually, but that move is maybe the best SIG in the entire game. Off stage, like easily the best off stage move. It's unpunishable. Like, you cannot do anything against a Lin Fei down sig with off stage hitbox. Asuri has sword. Sword is just super consistent. It pairs with guitar super well, and I mean, not to mention sword down sig is just insane. And Asuri guitar end sig is also insane. Like that, both those moves should be hard nerfed. And then going along with that, like Ember side sig and end sig on bow are both super overtuned and probably should be touched. So yeah, I mean, guitars are insane right now. These characters are the best guitar characters. It's only natural to put them top tier. So for A tier we have like Mordex, Fate, Mirage. I think Scythe is still super good, so it's only natural for me to put them like at high tier still. And these characters have always been insane with Scythe, so I feel like those are pretty self-explanatory. They like didn't really get touched that much. Mordex is still Mordex, Fate is still not nerfed for some reason, and then Mirage is still Mirage. I feel like Mirage maybe could be a bit lower, but I think with Mirage, her SIGs really make up for like how Spear isn't as good at dealing with guitars and other top tier weapons. So also Spear has a jump with hitbox and delight. So I think those characters are pretty solid. A tier, which is like high mid tier. It doesn't really matter. Like the tiering system is just I don't even know. With Lucian, Sentinel, and Ragnar, they're there because they have guitars, and guitars are insane. The only guitar characters that aren't S or A are Caspian and Queen 9. They're high B. Every character, or all the tiers are ordered, by the way. Like, I tried to order them as realistically as possible. With B and stuff, like with B and C, kind of gets clouded because not many people play some characters, and in general, it's kind of just hard to decide or like determine which is better when they aren't like glaringly different in strength. So yeah. And Koji's up here because I think Bo's still pretty good. It's just Koji is pretty solid and consistent. He's been like the best Bo character other than Ember for a very long time, and he's just so consistent and solid. Like you can't really bet against Koji. Okay, so for B tier, we have like Cannon. We have Sidra, who's like second best Cannon. Nyx, who's like the next Scythe character in line, and Guns as well, which are pretty good right now, I think. Then we have the Qatar characters, pretty self-explanatory. They're just not as good as the other Qatar characters, I think, personally. And then the rest of these, I try to order them like kind of relative to how I think the weapons are, and then how strong they are, like comparatively. So like, I think Diana has a better bow than Azoth. I think Azoth is a better axe than Barraza. And overall characters, I think this is how they go. This kind of weird displacement. I think D-Light and Sig should get nerfed. The Jawless Sword, it kind of slept on. Nobody plays it. I feel like if somebody was started abusing that, I might think it's better or worse. But right now, this is what I think it is. Wushang is just super solid overall. Three side six is the best Sig in the game, probably, other than this one off stage. And then, yeah. So, Zariel, I think Zariel's okay. He's just pretty slow, so it's kind of hard to rate. Like his Sigs are okay, and then but his weapons are insane. So I think he can't really fall that much below B tier. Then got like the orb characters. So we have, I think Thor is better than Petra. Petra has Gauntlet and Sig and Side Sig, but other than that, her Sigs aren't very good. Thor, every Sig is super good. So for that reason, I think Thor is better. Also, Hammer is just not really that good. Like, these are pretty interchangeable because like Thor's Sigs are much better, but I think Gauntlets are much better than Hammer. So I mean, like I said, like in here in these middle tiers, it's kind of hard to like justify the or not justify but rationalize like which characters are really better than the other ones. Like these are all pretty much the same tier, and they all do about the same against the top tiers and about as good against the lower tiers. So like I think Zol is pretty okay. I mean, strength is super good right now because when you have more force, not force, when you have a higher strength stat, you can actually lose neutral more and still be okay. And then Cannon, like winning neutral once with Cannon and getting a string is like so rewarding. Then we have like the spear characters down here. I think I put it like that. I think Core is better than Rayman. I think Hammer is better than Axe. Then we have like the spear characters, which I think are pretty okay, but like I said earlier, I don't think spear is like as good other than D-Light. And Sidelight's pretty good too. So this is how I think spear characters line up. But they're all pretty like meh, to be honest. And down here, like these characters they're characters for sure, but they're not like spectacular. I wouldn't personally play them really ever. But I got like Bryn, Artemis, like Lance is just whatever. Do I even have a Lance Legend up here? I think this is my highest Lance Legend. Like Lance is just some cheeks. Lance is like super jank, but I'm not a fan of it. And we got like the hammer characters and the sword characters. Isaiah's here because I have to put him somewhere. Got like more hammer and bow, and Dusk is here because I have to put him somewhere. Then we have Cross, and like realistically, all these characters are pretty bad. Like design wise, their Sigs aren't very good and not fast enough and not strong enough, and they don't gel enough with their characters' base kits. Then down here, these characters are just dog shit. Like Roland is so unbearably bad. Like I feel so bad for anyone who plays him. Same with Ulgrim in ones, and Scarlet is cheese. Like the only reason Scarlet wins is because nobody else plays Scarlet. Like no matchup experience. Orion is still bad even after nerfs because Lance is horrible. Then Thatch is here because Thatch, his things are just so unbearably bad. And then Terros is here because he's Terros, and Axe and Hammer do the same thing. I mean, I put him in bottom tier literally every time. So, yep, this is my weapon tier list. Like, these are the characters that are probably going to win tournaments. Other than these, I really don't know who would win. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Have a discussion in the comments. Let me know what you guys think. Yeah, peace out.